Good morning and welcome to Daily Briefing. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sarah. August 13th, 2026.
Quick check of the weather here in Parker. 61 degrees Fahrenheit and clear skies right now, heading up to a high of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Low tonight, 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, we're looking at a major surge in AI-driven cyber warfare targeting Taiwan. Massive consolidation in the artificial intelligence sector, and the White House taking steps to mandate safety testing for advanced models.
Plus, some emotional shifts in the world of sports and culture. Let's get into it.
Starting off with global news, Taiwan disclosed that it was hit by a major artificial intelligence-driven cyber attack campaign just last month.
That is alarming. They said the attack specifically targeted their critical infrastructure, right?
It did. And what makes this stand out is how it highlights the growing role of advanced machine learning technologies in state-level hacking operations.
So instead of traditional hacking methods, these actors are leveraging machine learning to automate or enhance how they breach critical systems.
Exactly. It marks a pretty significant shift in how state-sponsored cyber conflicts are being fought.
Meanwhile, in South Asia, Bangladesh is facing a massive energy crisis. The country literally went dark as it battles its worst power crisis yet.
It has gotten so severe that Bangladesh has actually turned to India for emergency assistance to help stabilize things.
Wow, widespread blackouts. What kind of impact is that having on the ground?
Well, the energy shortage is directly threatening Bangladesh's industrial output. It also really underscores how much the country is coming to rely on regional energy grid support just to keep the lights on.
And speaking of India, there is also fresh diplomatic friction between New Delhi and Beijing. India has started officially naming geographical locations in Arunachal Pradesh.
Right. And that cartographic move drew strong formal objections from China.
Border disputes through maps are always tense. Why is the place naming happening now?
These strategic cartographic actions really highlight the ongoing diplomatic tensions along the disputed Sino-Indian border. Naming these places is a way of asserting sovereign claims.
It is a quiet war of maps, but it carries huge geopolitical weight. Now, moving over to South America, regulators in Brazil are taking a hard line against Discord.
Yes, Brazil's data protection agency has officially ordered Discord to suspend its live streaming service across the country.
That is a massive regulatory move. What prompted the suspension?
It follows the tragic death of a teenage girl, which was linked to a broadcast hosted on the platform.
That is awful. It really shows the intense regulatory pressure messaging platforms are facing globally to police user content and protect child safety.
It does. Coming up, we'll turn to major headlines from India and Tamil Nadu, including political security concerns and aviation safety.
Let's move into India and Tamil Nadu news. There was a violent attack involving Shromani Akali Dal chief Sukhbir Singh Badal.
That's right. Badal was attacked with a kirpan by a Nihang Sikh while at a Gurdwara in Maharashtra.
A kirpan attack at a Gurdwara? That is shocking. How is he doing?
He was hospitalized and had to undergo surgery following the assault.
The incident has raised serious security concerns and sparked a huge political outcry over intelligence failures leading up to it.
Absolutely. In legal news, the Supreme Court of India is taking up a massive constitutional question regarding legislative privilege and free speech.
Right. A 7-judge constitution bench is set to begin hearing petitions on October 6th.
The central issue is whether legislative privileges override a citizen's fundamental right to freedom of speech.
And this isn't a new issue either. The long-pending case actually stems from published news reports way back in 2003.
It will be a historic ruling whenever it lands. Finally, in the region, Air India is stepping up its crew screening in a big way.
They've ordered mandatory dope tests for all Air India pilots.
This decision came after a captain actually tested positive for marijuana use.
Wow. That definitely explains the heightened regulatory scrutiny over aviation safety and crew fitness standards.
When we come back, we'll dive into finance and markets, where Goldman Sachs is making a $2 billion move in crypto and inflation data just dropped.
Turning to finance and markets, Goldman Sachs is making a massive splash in the crypto ETF space.
They acquired NEOS investments for a staggering $2.25 billion.
$2.25 billion? That is a huge statement. What are they gaining from NEOS?
It lets Goldman expand its footprint directly into Bitcoin yield-bearing ETF products.
So they're stepping straight onto the turf of rival asset managers in the derivative fund space.
Exactly. It's a direct challenge to everyone else offering crypto derivative products.
Speaking of the broader economy, we got fresh U.S. inflation data, and it looks like price pressures are cooling off a bit.
Annual inflation in the United States slowed to 3.4% in July.
3.4% is definitely a breath of fresh air compared to what we've seen. What drove the drop?
Lower food and fuel cost growth was the main driver, keeping the overall numbers down.
That easing price pressure offers some real relief to consumers. How do you think this impacts the Federal Reserve?
Well, it gives the Fed more flexibility as they consider future interest rate policy moves down the road.
On Wall Street, the S&P 500 ended higher, largely driven by tech optimism.
CoreWeave posted exceptionally strong quarterly earnings, which really fueled investor sentiment across the board.
CoreWeave provides AI infrastructure, right?
They do. And that rally proves that the sheer demand for artificial intelligence hardware is still driving the broader stock markets.
Speaking of big money in tech, Anthropic is reportedly in talks for a massive acquisition.
Word is Anthropic is in negotiations to buy tech startup Descartes for $6 billion.
$6 billion? That would be huge.
If the deal goes through, it would mark a massive consolidation event within the rapidly expanding AI industry.
On the flip sides of crypto treasuries, though, concentrating balance sheets in single tokens is showing its risks.
Yeah, Tokyo-listed Metaplanet reported a massive paper loss on its treasury holdings.
How bad was the hit?
They posted an unrealized paper loss of $1.5 billion on their Bitcoin holdings.
$1.5 billion in paper losses really highlights the financial risks when corporate balance sheets concentrate heavily on a single crypto asset.
It really does. Meanwhile, traditional financial giants are continuing to experiment with blockchain tech for sovereign debt.
MUFG is testing real-time settlement for Japanese government bonds, right?
Yes, MUFG is developing a proof of concept on the Canton network to settle Japanese government bond trades using blockchain.
What is the main goal of using on-chain infrastructure there?
They want to deliver much faster settlement times for sovereign debt markets.
Coming up next, we'll hit the tech and AI front, including a White House policy expansion and major security flaws.
On the tech side, we have to start with a serious security vulnerability that is actively being exploited right now.
Is this the Microsoft SharePoint flaw?
Yes, threat actors are actively exploiting a critical authentication bypass vulnerability, coded CVE 2026-55040.
Why did the attacks spike so suddenly?
It happened right after proof of concept exploit code was publicly released.
So once the proof of concept went public, attackers jumped on it immediately.
Precisely. Organizations are being urged to apply Microsoft's July patches right away to prevent unauthorized access.
In the scientific community, researchers in Japan just achieved a mind-blowing feat in reproductive biology.
They managed to create female clones from male mice.
Wait, female clones from male mice? How did they pull that off?
They used AC or ISPR-based gene editing approach to completely remove the Y chromosome from male mouse cells.
Wow. So they took male cells, erased the Y chromosome, and successfully converted male embryos into females.
Exactly. It's the first time scientists have deliberately done that, opening up whole new avenues in reproductive science.
That is incredible. In software security, researchers found a really strange flaw affecting the top AI providers.
Yeah, an API flaw in systems from OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google allowed weaker AI models to decode the reasoning of stronger models.
How does an API flaw allow a weaker model to do that?
The vulnerability exposed hidden AI reasoning objects across sessions, which leaked sensitive session log data.
What kind of sensitive data are we talking about?
It exposed internal system secrets and actual API keys.
That is a massive leak for the biggest names in AI. And speaking of remote tools, Zoom had a scary zero-click vulnerability recently as well.
Yes, a critical flaw in Zoom's screen annotation tool allowed meeting participants to execute remote code on other computers.
A zero-click exploit in Zoom? So, a participant didn't even need to click anything to get hacked?
That's right. It allowed an attacker to hijack an attendee's computer without any user interaction required, posing severe risks to presenters and viewers alike.
Thankfully, that was reported and patched. Looking at the government side, the White House is preparing to tighten up its oversight of AI developers.
They are revising federal artificial intelligence guidelines to mandate safety testing for advanced models before public release.
Mandating safety testing before launch is a big shift.
It signals a much stricter federal regulatory strategy over the top US AI development labs.
We are also seeing drama in the vulnerability disclosure world between researchers and tech giants.
A cybersecurity researcher went ahead and published a new Windows zero-day vulnerability.
Even after Microsoft threatened legal action against them?
Yep, despite the legal pushback, the researcher made the details public anyway.
Wow. That public disclosure basically forces Microsoft's hand to quickly patch the bug before malicious actors exploit it widely.
It certainly puts them on the clock. Finally, in science, astronomers may have just solved a deep cosmic mystery using a brand new stellar classification.
Are you talking about the new black hole star discovery?
Yes, astronomers discovered a novel class of black hole stars that could explain those mysterious bright red objects seen in the early universe.
Those strange red dots picked up by telescopes?
Exactly. This finding provides crucial insight into how supermassive black holes were able to form so shortly after the Big Bang.
Coming up, we'll wrap things up with sports and culture from Lionel Messi to big decisions at the Kennedy Center.
In sports entertainment, we start with a very emotional update from Lionel Messi.
Messi published a tribute following the tragic passing of his father, Jorge.
It was a deeply heartfelt post, but he also expressed real doubts about continuing to play professional soccer.
That has sent shockwaves through the sports world. Fans and media are really concerned this might mean his imminent departure from the sport.
It will be the end of an era. Meanwhile, a major cultural institution in Washington, D.C. is facing a pivotal crossroads.
The Kennedy Center Board is scheduled to vote on whether to move forward with closing its operations entirely.
That is huge. If they vote to close, it would mark a massive disruption for one of the premier performing arts venues in the United States.
Absolutely. On the basketball front, the NBA is celebrating the career of one of its most explosive guards following his retirement.
Russell Westbrook announced his retirement from professional basketball, prompting a flood of tributes.
Players like LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo were among the many stars honoring him.
And he leaves behind an incredible legacy, highlighted by his MVP award and countless record-breaking triple-double performances.
What a career he had. And lastly, in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns have set their preseason quarterback lineup.
They named Deshaun Watson as the starting quarterback for their preseason opener.
And what about rookie Shedeur Sanders?
Sanders is scheduled to start the team's second preseason game.
That gives the coaching staff a clear rotation as they evaluate quarterback performances before the regular season kicks off.
That brings us to the end of today's stories. From state-level AI cyber attacks to shifting regulations and iconic sports moments, technology and culture are moving faster than ever.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, everyone.